You've been told your whole life that water is the answer to almost everything. Feeling tired? Drink water. Headache? Drink water. So you do. You keep a bottle nearby, you sip throughout the day, and you assume you're covering your bases. But here's something doctors who specialize in aging want more people to understand. After 60, your body's relationship with water quietly changes, and for some people, drinking only plain water, especially in large amounts, isn't the simple safety net it used to be. Stick around, because this isn't about fear. It's about understanding your own body a little better so you can hydrate the smart way instead of just the habitual way. Let's talk about why this actually matters. Proper hydration affects nearly everything in your body: your energy levels, your kidney function, your blood pressure, even your thinking clarity. But research on aging consistently shows that older adults face a unique hydration puzzle, one that's different from what younger adults deal with. Studies estimate that dehydration affects somewhere between 17 and 28% of older adults in the United States, making it one of the most common and most overlooked health issues in this age group. At the same time, a separate but related problem, having too little sodium in your blood, a condition called hyponatremia, is also surprisingly common in older adults, in some studies affecting up to 18% of the elderly population and reaching even higher rates among those in long-term care settings. So older adults can end up dealing with either too little fluid or an imbalance in the minerals that fluid needs to work properly. Understanding both sides of this is exactly what today's video is about. So let's start with the first big change that happens as we age, and it's one most people have never heard of. Your thirst signal gets weaker. Deep in your brain, there's a region called the hypothalamus that's responsible for telling you when you need fluids. As we get older, this region becomes less sensitive to the signals that indicate dehydration. In practical terms, that means by the time you actually feel thirsty, you may already be meaningfully dehydrated. Researchers describe this as a blunted thirst response, and it's one of the most consistent findings in aging research. This is exactly why relying purely on the old advice of drink when you're thirsty becomes a less reliable strategy after 60. Your body simply doesn't send the warning signal as clearly or as early as it used to. The second change involves your kidneys. Throughout life, your kidneys are responsible for concentrating urine and carefully regulating how much water and sodium your body holds onto or releases. With age, kidneys gradually become less efficient at this concentrating process. That means your body has a harder time fine-tuning fluid balance on its own, making you more dependent on getting your intake right from the outside. And the third change is one people rarely think about: your body composition itself. Muscle tissue holds a lot of water, while fat tissue holds much less. As we age, it's common to gradually lose muscle mass and gain a higher proportion of fat, even without significant weight change. This means your total body water reserve, the buffer that helps you handle fluid loss without major consequences, naturally shrinks. A level of fluid loss that a 30-year-old body could easily absorb might affect a 70-year-old body more noticeably. Now, here's where it gets more nuanced, and where the doctors warn part of this really comes in, because thirst becomes unreliable and dehydration risk is real. Some older adults, often following good intentions, start drinking large volumes of plain water throughout the day. But water on its own doesn't just hydrate you, it also dilutes the sodium already in your bloodstream. If you're drinking a lot of plain water without adequate sodium and other electrolytes, especially combined with certain medications, this can contribute to hyponatremia, where blood sodium drops to unsafe levels. This is precisely why medical researchers describe hydration in older adults as a balancing act, not simply a matter of drinking more. Certain medications significantly increase this risk, which is why this is such an important conversation to have with your doctor rather than figuring out on your own. Diuretics, often prescribed for high blood pressure or heart conditions, are a major factor. Thiazide diuretics, in particular, are associated with sodium loss and hyponatremia risk, while loop diuretics can cause more significant fluid shifts as well. Some antidepressants and other common medications can also affect how your body handles sodium and water. None of this means these medications are dangerous or that you should ever stop taking a prescribed medication because of something you heard in a video. Let's get into practical, evidence-based strategies. First, build hydration into your routine rather than waiting for thirst. Since thirst becomes an unreliable signal with age, many geriatric health specialists recommend a proactive approach, drinking on a schedule throughout the day, such as a glass with each meal and in between, rather than waiting to feel thirsty. Second, pay attention to where your electrolytes are coming from, not just your water. This doesn't necessarily mean buying specialty electrolyte drinks, although for some people, particularly those who are more physically active or prone to low sodium, an electrolyte-containing beverage recommended by their doctor can be helpful. For many older adults, simply eating a balanced diet that includes naturally sodium and potassium-containing foods, alongside your regular water intake, provides much of what your body needs. Third, know the warning signs that your balance may be off in either direction. Dry mouth, dark urine, dizziness, and confusion can signal dehydration, but headache, nausea, unusual confusion, or muscle weakness, especially if you drink large amounts of plain water regularly or take diuretics, can potentially signal low sodium. And this deserves medical attention, rather than simply drinking more water to compensate. Fourth, and this is genuinely important, talk to your doctor about your personal fluid needs, especially if you take any diuretics, blood pressure medications, or antidepressants, or if you have kidney disease or heart failure. There's no single fluid intake number that applies to everyone. General guidance for healthy adults often falls somewhere between 2 and 3 liters a day, but your personal number may be higher or lower, depending on your health conditions, activity level, and medications. Your doctor can help you land on a number that's right for you, specifically, rather than a generic internet recommendation. Let's clear up a common misconception here, too. This video is not saying water is bad for you after 60, and please don't walk away thinking you should drink less. So here's what I want you to take away from today. Your body's hydration needs genuinely shift as you age, not because water becomes bad, but because your thirst signals, kidney function, and body composition all change together. Small, informed adjustments like these are what real, evidence-based healthy aging looks like. Not fear, not extremes, just understanding your body a little better than you did yesterday. If this helped you see your daily water habit differently, share it with someone you care about, because this is exactly the kind of thing that's easy to overlook until it matters. And if you want more honest, science-backed health information made specifically for adults over 60, go ahead and subscribe, because there's a lot more where this came from.